Leisure Suit Larry, the popular video game character from the 80s, is coming back. And here to talk to us is a Digits regular, Jamin Warren. How are you, Jamin?
I'm doing well. How are you?
So explain to us, who is Leisure Suit Larry? Remind us of him and what exactly is going on.
Sure. Leisure Suit Larry was a popular adventure game character from the late 80s. During this time period, point-and-click adventure games were really popular. These were games where you used your mouse and clicked on different things on the screen, and then you issued a series of commands. Leisure Suit Larry was in the adult comedy category in terms of his job was to sort of hunt women and fall into different adventures along the way. It was a very popular series that was originally came from some folks who worked on King's Quest and at Sierra. So these were games that were popular about 20 years ago, but that game style has since fallen into disrepair, and most people don't really play those types of games anymore.
So tell us the story here. It looks as though someone is looking to revive Leisure Suit Larry through Kickstarter.
Absolutely. So Lowe is the creator. He started the series
he looks like he's having a great time, by the way. We're looking at video right now. He's got a cocktail in hand. He's it's great. Okay, continue.
Yeah, you definitely say that writers create versions of themselves, and that's certainly true of game designers as well. But for Lowe, he had stopped making games entirely, in part because he was frustrated with his inability to find someone to fund new projects. And so he was sitting on this kind of classic IP similar to, say, like a Meatballs or something like that. And the same way that Hollywood often reboots old franchises, this happens with games from time to time, but finding financing can be very difficult. So he thought, let's turn to Kickstarter. Right now he's raised around almost $250,000 in the last couple days. So it's working out pretty well for him. But I think the larger...
Is the plan to bring him back with that sort of 80s graphic look about it, or will have a more updated feel to it?
Well, there were 5 or 6 Leisure Suit Larry games, and each one was graphically more intense than the previous version. So his plan is to make it a quote-unquote next generation style game. So new art, similar styles of gameplay, so it's not to alienate fans of the series, but the idea is to bring that original franchise into the 21st century.
Jamin, are there other examples of people that are doing this right now?
Absolutely,
just for fun?
and I think that's kind of the big point. Lowe is part of a generation of game designers who grew up and honed their skills during a time period when you could only approach big publishers who would fund your titles. And what you're seeing is that a lot of these guys who are extremely talented are turning to new digital distribution models and crowdfunding models like Kickstarter to fund things that they've worked on for years, most notably Tim Schafer, who created a host of different games. But for LucasArts back through the 80s and 90s, he released a project just telling the public that he was interested in making a new title, raised over $3 million for that new project. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that these individual creators, they have fans, and those fans are interested in supporting them, even if big publishers are not.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it takes off in the current year from 20 years ago. And a lot of the people that were fans then are older now, maybe have a little more money, may have an interest in coming back.
I didn't know who Larry the Leisure Suit was. I gotta be honest. Do you have a Kickstarter project? I feel like the Kickstarter project is the new calling card these days.
I do not have a
Jamin, do you have a Kickstarter project? You strike me as the type that might have one.
We've done 3 actually.
Okay,
we funded 2 different parties, and the very first issue of our magazine was a Kickstarter project. So we've been using it for about 2.5 years now. It's a really amazing platform for creative projects, and especially for game designers who are really stuck in traditional modes of fundraising. It's a great way they can show something that's not quite finished and find an audience for it. It's a great marketing vehicle as well.
It is. We're seeing lots of consumer tech products pop on there.
Yeah, that's the other big category for Kickstarter is consumer tech and Apple add-ons. That seems to be a big category for them as well.
Interesting stuff. Thanks for coming on. That was Jamin Warren.